Daniel, check out the drip on that cat. I used to have a chain like that. It didn't look as good back when we played football, but I'm feeling it. You know what I mean?
I mean, black uniforms, chains. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
No doubt. Well, welcome into the In Off the Bench podcast. My name is Jim Cross. I'm joined as always by Daniel Ball. We are brought to you by Chinook Cedary, 8 flavors, mild to wild, the best in the game, less salt, no sandpaper tongue. Old Dominic Distillery in the heart of downtown Memphis. Vodka, whiskey, bourbon, gin. They got it all. The Bellsmith, Daniel. The Bellsmith. Check this out.
Uh-oh.
It came today in the mail right before our guest. I mean, you can't do it better. We got the Michael O'Brien. It comes in the white as well. And what a time, Daniel, it never gets old flexing. Speaking of the black uniforms we were talking about with Michael, we got the only black cowbell, one of 5. Obviously, 4 in off the bench guests have the other ones. Bell Smith doing his thing. You can check him out online or at Maroon & Company. He's got all the bells you need. I got 25 of them now, Daniel. I'm an LSU fan with 25 bells. Make it make sense.
25. Get it.
But last but not least, we're both wearing the shirts. Jesus One in Peril. Like you say, Daniel, empowering young men and women across the country. We saw it, man. On the biggest stage, Daniel, again, the Oklahoma gymnastics ladies, our guests, repping the Jesus One. Today, I have on Florida State, man. Obviously, our hearts are out with those who, dealing with the tragedy down there in Tallahassee. And so definitely want to rep when we get our next opportunity to do a check for ministry, Daniel, with our, 15%. We definitely got to look into something down there, see how we can help them. But enough of me rambling on. We got to bring on our guest, Daniel. We got Michael O'Brien from Mississippi State. My man, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Oh, man, no complaints. It's been a while since we've done Mississippi State. Daniel, I'm trying to think. I think it was when we brought Hunter Hines back just to catch up. Was that the last time?
Yeah, I think that was it, man.
These dudes, I mean, we started this show, Cameron James, and somehow we've gotten away from Starkville. I don't know what we're doing. Need to get myself to Starkville. I need to get some food. Michael, man, is the food still where it's at there?
Oh, come on now. It's the best.
Yeah, I mean, you're from Louisiana, so that's a bold statement.
I'm telling you. And my dad will come up. He's a big cooker too. He'll bring his cooking trailer up. He just finished cooking up some pastelaya. We were playing the Gators, so you had to throw a little bit of Gator in the pastelaya. I know the series didn't turn out how we wanted it to, but it still tasted really good.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, I mean, you ended on a good note. You got some good food. I seen the pictures from your mom, obviously family and everything. So, wins and losses are not always counted in the scorebook, and obviously Easter weekend, and that's where I wanted to go, man. I saw everybody Easter weekend in their best. Like for you, man, is it a suit thing, or are you just going button up? Like how you going to Easter, Mike? Because I seen the swag, so I got to know.
We were at the field, of course, on Easter. We got to play on Easter, which was pretty fun. But for me, it was just a pretty casual day. We woke up and we just got to the field pretty early. Got our meetings in, and then we had a team chapel, and it was good.
Yeah, I mean, you went there for the field, but let's say you did get to go to church Sunday. I have a feeling you're a suit guy. Are you going suit?
Yeah. Being up here in Starkville, I'm kind of in the boots and jeans right now with the polo and stuff like that. So I've got some thunder. Yeah, I'm rocking the boots and jeans with the polo.
Daniel, that's one thing, talking about being in Fort Worth this weekend, man. I had to get used to the boots and jeans. He's talking about a lot of cowboy hats. Obviously, my son becomes an imposter when he goes there. There's nothing country about this kid. He throws his cowboy hat on. It works, but yeah, I get it. Adapting to the culture. Mike, I almost forgot. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask Daniel about this. It has nothing to do with the show, but my man, I have not heard from him in 48 hours because it's WrestleMania weekend. Daniel, I know you could give us 2-hour recap. I want 20 seconds. WrestleMania, give it to us.
All right, here you go. Tiffany Stratton, 1. All right. Next, Becky Lynch comes back. 2. Number 3, John Cena is now the ultimate champ of all champs, 17-time world champion, the most of all time, just surpassed the man himself, Ric Flair. That's what you need to know.
Talk to me about the Vegas set. Man, I've seen the video. I've seen that thing. I mean, it's larger than life.
Yeah, I mean, every year it's like you get this big display and it gets more elaborate, more things, more lights, more bells, more whistles. There's Logan Paul holding a drone, flying a drone during his intro, comes back, catches the drone, and like holds like it's unbelievable. Just a lot.
They're trying to catch up with Duty Noble Field because I tell you, it's the Mecca. What they got going on there is like no other place in college baseball. I'm just saying.
I'm pretty sure when Triple H was planning all this WrestleMania stuff out, I was like, he's probably like sitting down with notes about Duty Noble and was like, look, we gotta make it look like this, fellas.
I'm just saying that was probably what's happened. But I know you had a good weekend. You're doing that. I was doing that. It's the first weekend, Mike, I could say that college baseball wasn't the priority probably in 2025. We stepped away, but we're back this week, and so we're going to get back into it, starting with your story.
That's right, Michael. You are getting us back rolling. So you're a Louisiana kid. Where in Louisiana are you from? And have I ever heard of it? Because there's a lot of places in Louisiana like I've heard of, but 90% of them I have not.
Yeah, so I'm about 10 minutes outside of New Orleans in a town called River Ridge. It's probably 2 minutes away from my high school, John Curtis. Small town, but
I've never heard of it. However, I'm willing to go there. Let's
You
say
have,
that
you have. Fun fact, Daniel. He's not our first guest from there.
from River Ridge. Then it must have been like River Ridge East or West River Ridge, and like there's a lot of those out there.
And the main reason I know is because I thought back to it on the John Curtis thing. You remember when Randy was hosting with us, and he loved going through notable alumni. He had a field day with that school.
Oh, it makes sense. I mean, that was a long time ago. I mean, my
it's
memory
like
is not
4
the
years
best.
ago.
Yeah. So, all right, River Ridge. If I'm gonna go, what do I got to do? Smell, taste, eat, see, experience in River Ridge, Louisiana.
Oh, you kind of put me on the spot.
And don't tell me I got to go down the road to New Orleans because I don't want to hear that.
No, I mean, we got some good snowball stands. We have the best snowball stand in the country, Droopy's. They got a really good snowball stand.
Let's be real. It's a snow cone.
Come on.
Explain the difference.
Hold on, I like the answer, Daniel. We've never had an answer like
no,
that.
I agree. That's a great answer, but explain to me the difference between a snowball and a snow cone.
I can't even explain to you the difference. I've had this argument probably a lot in the last month with some of my teammates, and they disagree. They call it a snow cone. But if you go anywhere 10, 20 minutes down the road where I'm from, you will see snowball, not snow cone. And I'll just leave it at that.
Hey, I'll go and check it out. I'm willing to eat snow cones, snowballs, you name it. I'll check it out. But obviously, your dad, he was a college football player. Uncle played college baseball. Family dynamics, a lot of different. The genetic pool is great in your family. Let's just put it that way. But tell me about mom, dad. You got brothers, sisters. What's the whole family tree look like?
Yeah. So my mom, my dad, and I have a little sister. She's a senior at John Curtis right now. They're actually up here. They're in the room right next door. They came up to watch the series this weekend because my sister's off of school, but they'll also be coming to Auburn when we travel there this weekend. So
nice. When your dad is an athlete growing up, are you forced to play sports of any kind, or did you choose to do that on your own? Like, I feel like when your dad's a big, tough, like rugged football player, and your uncle, he's a college baseball player, I feel like you're kind of born with a ball and a bat and a glove. Like, you don't really have a choice. You don't know anything different.
Yeah, no, growing up, I definitely I started off with football, baseball, even ran a little track in there. And then not really until high school was it really my decision on whether I wanted to pick one another. Played football, played track, even through the javelin in high school. And then I kind of got away from football my sophomore year and just focused strictly on baseball.
Gotcha. Well, you went to John Curtis Christian, where, as Jim mentioned, there's a ton of alumni, just notable alumni. And there's a guy by the name of Danny Wimprine. You ever heard of Danny Wimprine?
I have.
You see that flag in the background? Like that right there is the foundation for Memphis football. And I know people will disagree with that and go, you need to go back and go back further and this and that. No, Danny Wimprine, D'Angelo Williams, those two were the foundation of Memphis football and what it's catapulted itself into. But that's enough of me and my fandom. But
You had to go there. I mean, got to give Danny Wimpron his time, though.
Have to. Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't long ago that Danny Wimpron had every quarterback record in the school, you know, and then
a
a
guy
guy
named Seth Hennigan came in.
Yeah, there was a guy named Brady White who did it first, and then a guy named Seth Hennigan decided he wanted to do it all. But you know, how nice is it going to a school that just thrives on sports and is producing, you know, notable alumni like that at the high Division I college ranks?
Yeah, you know, it's good. Going to Curtis, I felt like Curtis just growing up, especially at the lower school I started. I had gone to John Curtis pretty much my entire life. And we had a football coach by the name of Coach Corey when I was little, and he was a very hard-nosed coach. He used to wear all of his state championship rings on his hand, and we were little. Keep in mind, we were in 3rd, 4th grade. He'd smack you up on side of the helmet if you were acting out of place or if you were disobeying him. So you kind of were taught, you know, the principles at a very early age, and they just kind of laid out the foundation of success for me.
Absolutely. You know, when you go to a school that prides itself in doing things the right way, I mean, obviously being a good athlete is one thing, but you learn more about how to be a man, how to grow up, how to be more mature, how to have respect and leadership, and just a bunch of different things that you might not necessarily get at a much larger school or even, you know, a public, you know, traditional type school. So being a Louisiana kid, who was your favorite athlete growing up?
Ooh, well, I would always say Derek Jeter. I grew up watching Derek Jeter since I was little. I was at number 2 in everything, football, baseball. I grew up watching Derek Jeter. I even came home when I was born wearing a little Derek Jeter jersey.
I'll tell you why that's a great answer. There's 4 of us that do hosting on this show, and we had a group chat based upon a graphic that came up about who's your Mount Rushmore of 4 athletes. 2 of the 4, ironically, not the 2 on this show, but 2 of the 4 had Derek Jeter.
Yeah.
But they also don't know gymnastics. So Daniel, we had to set that whole thing straight.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. When you're limited to 4 spots, it's not like Derek Jeter doesn't belong. It's just you only got 4. Like, you gotta.
So when you gotta narrow it and it's close like that, it goes to a character thing. And I'll take Derek Jeter's character over 99% of them.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you ask the ladies, they might beg to differ on that.
Look, he's my hero when we look at that list. I've even told my own wife, look at the girls this dude dated. Are you kidding me?
I mean, just a successful dude. I mean, what can you say? But you know, speaking of success, you got a lot of success on the baseball and football field. Ultimately, you know, what made Mississippi State the destination for you?
Yeah. So in 8th grade, I actually had committed to Tulane University, and then I had a coaching change going into my senior year. I decommitted. I actually was struck with mono. I was pretty down. I was down for about a month during the summer, so I was kind of nervous on, you know, deciding where I was going to go. And luckily, Coach Gotro reached out to me. I came to a camp up here and immediately just fell in love with everything they had to offer. I mean, there's no better stadium in the country than Dudy Noble. And of course, a good coaching staff. So it was just, you know, where I wanted to be. It's where I felt like I was going to develop the most. And it's where I wanted to finish my college career.
Yeah, I mean, I said something about Dudy Noble, and I just want to highlight what you said, because it's one thing for you to say it as a player there. I'm an LSU fan. We are rivals, and I will tell any LSU fan, and they'll argue with me, because most of them, Daniel, what is the key? They haven't been there. They say it because they haven't been there. Once you walk in there and watch a game, you change your tune. Hell, Daniel, not even just I was saying something the other day, which stadium we're at. I was talking about the concessions, right? Even in Starkville, the concessions are a well-oiled machine, Daniel. Like, everything's smooth. Like, they don't do anything bad there with their setup. So, like you said, facilities, everything they got. You make the right decision to go there, I believe, over Tulane. There's absolutely nothing wrong with Tulane, but we're talking about SEC, you know, top-tier school. But you get there, man. We talked about it a little bit ago with the food, the culture. You know, baseball is one of the few schools where baseball is actually the top. You know, people can say something about football, but we know baseball is king. So when you get there, man, and taking that culture, how cool is it, man? Everything that Starkville has to embody now that you're actually there.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, everywhere you go, everybody knows who you are. and you're at the top of the mountain when it comes to sports for the university. And it's really fun to be able to just go out and he's like, hey, everybody knows who you are because they're watching you every day. It's pretty cool.
For as much as I hate social media, Michael, one of my favorite things is after Mississippi State loses that first football game and they're already like, it's baseball season. Look, they throw the football team away immediately. Like, let's go. So
yeah.
But before we get deep into baseball, man, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about your faith. We're obviously wearing the Jesus One shirts. You're somebody that when you look at their social media, you can tell a lot by somebody because people can say it, but then, sometimes things display different. Your actions on the field as well. You can see you and your other teammates praying. You can see actively doing things. So talk about, how big of a role your faith plays, because in baseball, man, it's a game where, man, the ups and downs, the swings are like no other sport. So faith has to play a big role for someone like you.
Yeah. Just like you said, it's the hardest game on the world. I feel like my faith keeps me grounded. It keeps me present in the moment, and it just allows me to have fun no matter what's going on around me. At the end of the day, baseball is just a game. And I'm very blessed to be able to have the abilities to play the game every single day. I never take it for granted. I know there's going to be highs. I know there's going to be lows. But at the end of the day, I'm just trying to carry out the plan that he has in store for me. And if his plan does involve me, making a career out of this, that's awesome. I would want nothing more. But at the end of the day, if it's not, then, it's still his plan.
Yeah, and that's absolutely the right mindset. And it's going to help you going forward because you're not going to stress yourself too much in a game where if you press too hard, it's not necessarily the best thing. So let's talk about freshman season just a little bit. You come to a team that's had 2 bad seasons in a row, and you get to be a part of a team that gets back to that winning culture. How much fun was it? Obviously, as someone who's going to be going there, you had to have watched the year before you got there, saw the struggles, the frustration. Then you get to be there. You're with some elite cats, who are now in the minors, knocking on the door of pro baseball. Talk about that culture, getting back to winning, and just those dudes you got to play with as a freshman and learn from.
Yeah, I felt like the way we played on the field represented a lot of the team. Our chemistry and the culture in the clubhouse was just unbelievable. I'll start off with Johnny Long. Johnny Long was a transfer from Pitt. We had kind of a rough start to the season. I think we dropped 1 or 2 against Air Force, and then we dropped a couple after that. He called everybody in, and we just talked about being an 80 grade teammate, and everybody just got behind that. And we rode with that the rest of the season. Everybody was together. After series, we were all hanging out together. We were enjoying ourselves. We were a very close team, and we just enjoyed the game, man. If somebody messed up or somebody didn't get the job done, it was like, hey, all right, cool.
Connor, the reason that's such a huge thing is, we had Tanner Allen on our other show, and he just, he's blunt. He's very blunt when he talks, and he said there's no lead dogs in that locker room. And he's talking about the previous 2 seasons, and you saw it. Both teams collapsed. Nobody's in there. You have to have guys in the locker room. It doesn't matter how much talent you have. You have to have leadership, and I think you saw that last year, to your point. And that's why even when you have tough stretches, you can come out strong. And I really like that team. A guy I really liked, I got to go see last year for Rocket City, and he was killing in AA, was Mershon. And that's a guy like I didn't really know too much about prior to last season. And so seeing what he did on the field, seeing his leadership, and then seeing it carry over, just another great guy. And I really believe in that program, like in what y'all do. I know a lot of people are very hard, and that Daniel talks about it all the time. When the expectations are high, people don't allow you to have any kind of, failure, so to speak. Like there's no room for error. And the fan bases just don't understand how hard it is. The SEC, you look at it this year, it's insane. I would say there's legitimately, Daniel, you can say 13 good, like use the word good teams.
Yeah, and so, and then you get teams like Texas A&M who played below what they're capable of, and now all of a sudden they're figuring it out. How good are they going to be? And then you get teams like
Kentucky knocks off
Kentucky. Yeah,
everybody's like they lost to a bad team. Go look. Actually, Kentucky's not. They've got numerous wins at this point. There isn't. And then South Carolina against Ole Miss. South Carolina, we knew that team before the season. They're very talented. Maybe not as much as some other, but there's no pushovers except for one team, and I'm not even gonna be rude enough to say it.
Well, they're 0-18, so you could say it.
Oh, but no, man, it's just tough. And Michael, and I want to get into that. So far, let's talk about you first. Daniel, he's my kind of guy. 24 games that he's played in this season. He does whatever's asked of him. Whether he's starting or whether he's coming in, pinch hitting, pinch running, defensive assignments. Talk about when you come out there. I notice you go 110%. So talk about that mentality about when you get your opportunity, you're going to give it everything.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's hard not knowing every day what's going to happen. I don't know if I'm going to start one day. But when I do get the opportunities and the opportunity is presented to me, I'm going to give it 110%. I'm going to give it everything I have. And if, it just doesn't fall my way, it doesn't. But at the end of the day, it's one of my coaches, he said, I played like my hair was on fire in the outfield, especially.
Well, that triple, I'm going to tell you right now, man, you kicked it up a gear, man. Obviously, to get a triple within itself, you either have to have it land in a perfect place to where the defense don't get it, or you got to be really fast, and you were really fast. Like, it feel like you were running on air because it looked like it.
Yeah, no, my dad loves to mess with me sometimes because he said I looked a little slow out of the box, and I was like, oh, I don't know. He's like, you kicked it into gear once you hit second, and I was like, yeah, I guess. I didn't know if I had just.
Look, I know this. You slid and you didn't even have to. That's how fast you got to third.
Yeah, I told him, I was like, Dad, I didn't know if I just had my first college homer or not. I was hoping it was going out.
No doubt. Hey, man, you had to watch just in case it did, right? Like,
I was hoping to win like a couple more push-ups.
look, let me tell you, win story. That Andrew Fisher not home run against A&M. So you'd had two the previous game. I had the clip, the best, because I was standing directly behind home plate. It wasn't even seats. I was in the media part. And I watched the track man say that it was going 413 at 108 miles per hour. And that dude caught it at the wall. It literally brought it back because the wind was coming in 28 miles an hour from right field. Literally brought it back 80 feet to where that dude could catch it. So I say that to say, like, sometimes it's not about the weight room. Sometimes the elements just play a role.
Yeah, I know. My dad will still give me a hard time. So
because I say that because I've been in Starkville a lot, and that wind can be coming. I feel like more times than not, Daniel, these stadiums, man, what's up, man? There's more wind coming in than out. Like, don't Mother Nature know we trying to see bombs?
I mean, but coaches are trying to prevent bombs too, so don't forget about that.
No, except at Memphis, I tell you what, because you played. Like, I swear, when I'm in Memphis, it's blowing 25 miles an hour to dead center.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever seen like those snow globes? That's what the ball looks like at Memphis, just flying all over the place. Just
well, I started to wonder when I went there for that Memphis game if Mississippi, that when I got there they hadn't scored any runs, and then next thing you know they decided they wanted to play that day. I think y'all went like 5 scoreless, and then it was a couple bombs, including Hunters, which I got. Luckily, I got there in time to record. So y'all decided y'all weren't going to let Memphis have the bragging rights around the Mid-South.
Yeah, no, our BP, the wind was blowing dead center. Everybody's hitting some homers. We're like, oh, it's going to be a good day.
I mean, I went to one game and I told Daniel, I was like, they hit 8 home runs. And he's like, are they that good? And I was like, I mean, I didn't want to take them down a notch, but I was like, man, all you had to do was put it in the outfield and it was going.
Yeah. This was his words. He said, I could have hit a home run today.
I ain't say that. No.
It is.
It ain't slow pitch softball. I'm not hitting. Look, I was thinking about it today, Mike. I really was. We have this debate on the hardest thing in sports. I know everybody says hitting a baseball, but I was just at the gymnastics championship, and the beam is literally that wide, and I'm watching these girls do backflips on it. And I was thinking, what could I do first? Hit a SEC fastball or land a flip on that beam? And the reality is I would have a better chance of hitting the baseball at some point. But nonetheless, I don't think I ever would. I might get a foul at some point, Daniel, but I'm definitely not putting it into play.
Neither.
It's incredible what they can do.
But let's talk. So the team is 6-12 in the SEC, and that actually doesn't bother me, Michael, because me and Daniel have actually talked about it. Whether you talk about Florida's team last year that made the run to Omaha, Ole Miss in 2022, like we went down a list. Like people write SEC teams off for dead, and each year there is one that always makes a run. And I like a lot of the talent on this team. I actually even like the schedule as it plays out. So, do you guys talk about it, man? Like forget what the standings are, forget what the record is, game by game, just work our way back.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're doing whatever it takes to win that game. We take it day by day. And I think like we're going to go on the road and play Auburn this weekend. You know, a very highly ranked team in their environment. It's going to be, you know, a very hostile environment.
Tell Pico not to pitch to Ike Irish right now. He is on a heater.
I'm gonna call it right now and tell you that he punches him out 3 times.
No, you know, they are a good team though. You're right. Like that's a team in their environment. You know, you got to go to. But I tell you what gets you started. You win the last game against Florida, right? And you win it well.
Yeah.
And then now you got the Governor's Cup with Ole Miss, which you know if you take that, it'll get you hyped. So what y'all got to do is just game by game. Exactly, we're talking about building. You get those 2 games, take that momentum into Auburn. It changes everything. So it starts with midweek. And Daniel talks about midweeks all the time. A lot of people dismiss me midweeks. He judges teams based upon their midweek. So tomorrow's a big one, I'm sure, for Daniel.
Yeah, I mean, I want to know depth of roster, because if we're putting all this stock into how teams are going to fare in the postseason, and if they can make postseason, you got to tell me what you have to offer other than the guys that are going to show up on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Because when you get in the thick of it, Michael, you know this as well as anybody, like everybody on that team, everybody that's in that dugout has a role. And it may not be on a Friday. It may not be on a Saturday. It might be a Sunday. It might be a Tuesday. It might be a Wednesday. But when their turn comes up, they got to produce. And that's the expectation. So, yeah, I do put a lot of stock in the midweek games, because I like to see who's deep and who's got what, because that's, to me, the ultimate sign of a balance and strength in a team.
Yeah, and there's obviously pride for the state of Mississippi, but also because y'all haven't played – you know, your weekend series yet, it gives you that confidence coming in as the team who obviously took that. So, you know, playing Pearl tomorrow, like how excited are you? You're in your second year now, so you're very understanding of this rivalry. So how excited are you to get it started tomorrow?
No, I'm excited. You know, we don't like those guys, and it's plain and simple. We just don't like them. Whenever we see them, we have to do whatever it takes to win that game. We know it just means more for the state of Mississippi. And, you know, we've got a lot of in-state players like Hunter and Bryce. Those guys, they know what it means. So for some of the out-of-state guys, kind of like me, my first year, it was just like, oh, this is really cool. It's a tense rivalry. But no, it means so much more than that.
What was it like when – I know you're not from Baton Rouge, but you're from Louisiana. You obviously go to the box this year. You know, obviously rain delays really – I was there. Rain delays really took that aside. But, you know, being a Louisiana kid playing – in Louisiana, you know, how much fun was that?
It was awesome. You know, I had really never played there, maybe once or twice in travel ball, but you know, to be able to play there against LSU on the biggest stage was just really cool, because I got to run in an outfield and just soak it all in, got to step in the box and just, you know, enjoy the moment. Like I said,
soak it in literally because of all the rain.
Yeah. I think we finished that game at 2:00.
Well, I'll put it to you this way: I had to leave because I had my son with me, and you know that Friday or Thursday night game, was a school night, and so each night, like, I mean, my son's normally in bed by 10:00, and games are starting at 9:30, and so yeah, it wasn't working very well for me. I would have never known that was the wrong weekend to bring my son, but he's a Mississippi State fan, so obviously I have to bring him. But the last question I got for you before we play the game is y'all do host Ole Miss in a couple weeks. I was there 2 years ago when the attendance record was set, and that was in a year where both teams were bad. This year, both teams are not bad. So, Michael, I ask you right now, bold prediction: is the attendance record reset?
I think it is. You know, we went there last year, and it was just a very poor series. You know, it meant a lot to them. You know, we dropped a 7 series win streak against them. And like I said, it just means more when we play those guys, especially at home. And so losing to them last year, they're coming to us this year. We get to play them tomorrow. It's all hands on deck. It's going to be cool.
Daniel, what do you got for tomorrow night, midweek? I'm putting you on the spot now. Prediction in front of Michael. Who are you going with? Look, I did that to him. I've never done that to him. He's like, oh,
I'm gonna go with State. And here's why. When you have this 7-game series win streak and then you lose it, regardless of this being the conference series, this is a game against them and it matters. And I think it's going to matter a little bit more to you than it will to them. And I think that's going to give you the edge. So give me State.
I'll give you why I'm going State. I was at Ole Miss's last 2 midweeks and I saw the way they played. including losing on Kids Day, which is one of the greatest environments I've ever seen. But man, you can't lose in front of the kids, Daniel.
No, and I said
the kids left and they packed it in. They said, "All right, we're done."
No, I said 7-game win streak. I actually forgot it was 7 years. We had played.
I knew what you meant. 7 years series.
7 games, 7 days, 7 weeks, 7 years. Jeez.
But at the end of the day, last year you'll take the loss of the series and have postseason play, which they didn't. So
that was. Oh my goodness, I get chills just thinking about that moment too, because I was the one that threw the Gatorade on Connor when he hit the walk-off bomb in the tournament. So that was.
They beat him in the tournament too. So I mean, we got to highlight it. He was the guest of the show. Brooks Auger, game of his life, man. Which, by the way, we found it last night. He went 5 innings, 6 strikeouts, 1 earned run for the Daytona teams, against Daytona for the Loons. So Daniel, he's still shoving.
I mean, go ahead. All right, Michael, you ready to play a game before you get out of here?
Let's go.
All right, it's called This or That. It's very simple. I'm going to give you 2 options. You choose one option or the other. Can't say both. Can't say neither. Just go with your head. Go with your heart. Go with your gut. Whatever it takes, just be decisive and pick one. Jim, This or That. Who is it brought to you by?
For the first time ever, I'm going to have a video for you on This or That. Check this out. So I'll be honest with you, Daniel. Those bells that are specialty bells that he had made, man, he better not leave that out. I'm just saying, scripture on it or not, it might end up in my car on the way home. But no, you obviously see the specialty bells the bellsmith can make for you. Obviously, Michael's. We obviously have something in the work with Jesus One with that one. And the shirts. Shout out, Michael's been working with me, Pico Cone, as well as Tanner Allen. They are fixing to be the next one up, Daniel. So shout out to the Bellsmith and Jesus One continuing to take care of these athletes.
Let's go. All right, Michael. Easy layup question. This is sort of a trick question, so get ready. Sunflower seeds or gum?
Sunflower seeds.
Good answer, because if you noticed that
he's an ambassador, you ain't got to tell him.
Chestnut seeds, best seeds in the game. 8 flavors, mild to wild. Go to your local gas station, convenience store, grocery store. Go to Snack Out, pick up the best seeds. Would you rather attend the party or host the party?
Attend the party.
Yeah, we've asked many people this question, and my answer has always been the same. It always depends on who you invite to the party. Because some people, I'm not trying to clean up after. So
I like how he says some people. He just throws guest names out sometimes and just runs them over, backs up.
Sometimes, but I ain't gonna do that to Michael. He said he's gonna attend the party, so I know what he's about. He ain't trying to mess up nobody's house. He's just gonna be respectful and have a good time, and that's it. What's worse, no money or no internet? You wake up, you're hungry, you want to go to Chipotle, but man, you just don't have enough in the account. Or you wake up, boom, no internet.
No money, because I can go without internet. I could go without my phone, but no money.
I'm telling you, Daniel, people keep saying that, but we had them storms roll through here, and we ain't have no internet with no power. And I'm telling you, it was brutal.
I don't know. I think I could go.
I couldn't watch TV, man. Forget being on your phone. I couldn't watch TV. Everything's on the internet now.
He couldn't keep up. His brain. See, Jim is so connected all the time. When he's not connected, he feels like he's in a foreign country. Like he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to talk. He doesn't know how to behave. He just sits, and just ponders life. And that's just not a good place.
Daniel, I had a reality, a revelation. So I'll say today, I was talking about my narcissistic tendencies, and I blame social media, because if it wasn't for all the people who were stupid, for lack of a better way to say it, I wouldn't have to feel the need to correct everyone.
I like that answer.
Stop, Michael. Don't fill him with this nonsense.
Look, no, we've actually came up with a genius idea today. Look, because I don't need to be on social media any more than I have to. My daughter's in college. She's needing to make some extra money. My wife is like, why don't you just pay your daughter to run all your social media accounts? And then Daniel's next thing was like, I like that. Can she edit the videos too? He's trying to get out of work. Look at him.
Hey man, I'm just trying to like leverage some cheap work here.
Smart, playing smart.
I'm telling you. All right, uniforms.
All right.
Black or white uniforms first.
I gotta go
black or white.
I gotta go with the blacks. I love the blacks.
Right.
They're my favorite ones.
What about black or maroon?
Maroon.
Maroon? Is it just because it's like a traditional thing? Like what is it?
So yeah, the Maroon 85s are they're classic. And it's just everyone in Starkville loves them. So I have to go with the Maroon 85s.
I can get with that. All right, who's faster? You or Dakota Jordan?
Dakota flew.
I mean,
I had to ask because I'm telling you that Daniel, go run the clip, man. The triple, and then I've seen him in the outfield too. So I don't know.
No.
I think he would have been faster on the triple. He just thought it was a home run, is what it was.
I've seen Dakota jump and run down first base, and he has ran multiple 3.7, 3.8 down the line.
The best description of how fast Dakota was, I can't remember who said it, Daniel, on here. You might remember when they were talking about trying to catch him on that walk-off against Ole Miss at home, and they said they couldn't even catch him to mob him, right? He ran all the way to the center field fence and jumped it.
He jumped straight into the rig.
But he paid for that because he got beer poured all over him, from what I understand. So careful.
Yeah, you got to be careful out there. They're having
you
a
might
good
come
time
back with
too.
some brisket in your mouth, though, if you dive in.
I won't complain about the brisket.
No. Concert or sporting event. And we're not talking about no, like, you know, Starkville, hole in the wall, like, you know, Johnny Blue and the Rockers. We're talking about like a concert and like big time sporting event like Wrestlemania.
Okay. Well, I'll throw this one out. I'm going to say concert because Hardy came and played at the Dude actually this past fall, and it was by far the most fun I've ever had at a concert. So I got to go with concert.
I mean, we've talked to guests who went there, Daniel. They're saying it hits different being on a baseball field. I mean, you don't see that often. I see it often. I actually hadn't seen it prior to that, so I don't know.
Hey, I saw the Foo Fighters at Fenway Park, and I thought it was awesome.
Daniel, I thought about the WrestleMania thing as you said it. I saw a stat today. Did you see that the last 4 WrestleManias, whatever NFL stadium they were held at, that team made it to the Super Bowl? And I thought that was hilarious because there's no way Vegas makes it to the Super Bowl. I'm just saying. But the stat was good for 4 years. It ain't going 5.
The Raiders are good for breaking streaks. Let's just put it that way. And that's what's going to happen. Would you rather save a loved one or 100 strangers? Would you rather be the hero for one person that you love or the hero for 100 people and their families, and you're beloved by, you know, it just spreads? Because I feel like if you save a loved one, like, you're supposed to do that.
Yeah.
But if you save 100 strangers, like, now
I retired this question and brought it back out because I know he's a good person by all accounts. So I wanted to see where he went.
I would say 100 strangers.
He's the first one. That's why I retired it. Everyone always said a loved one that literally selfishly would be like, look, man, if it's my mom, my girlfriend, whatever they were like, I gotta save them.
I would save 100 strangers, but I feel like if I could say both, I would say both. But I mean, I
can't.
I know.
Okay. Not in here.
It's the right move.
Maybe in another game somewhere else, but maybe not up in here.
Because I know if you asked him jail or coma, I think he's taking a coma. If you got offered 5 years in jail, 10 years in a coma, where are you going?
10 years in a coma, 5 years in prison. Which one are you taking?
I mean, 10 years in a coma. I'd say 10 years in a coma.
Told you. I figured he would.
Yeah.
All day. It's not even debatable. Like,
yeah, I don't think I'm made for prison.
That's what Daniel says.
That's
Look,
what I try to tell people. People come on here, Michael, and they act all big and bad and all hard. And I'm like, you ain't making it 5 days, much less 5 years. Let's be real.
You seen Beyond Scared Straight?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, my dad used to tell me when I was being bad when I was younger. That's where he was sending me. He was sending me on that show.
No, all good.
Daniel, before you ask him to plug or promote, I got to plug or promote. I got a few of our viewers asking me because Kendall Rogers would not acknowledge me. Free DBU, Daniel. All right, DBU is not ranked on a 9-game win streak. They are 28-11. However, I was fixing to say SMU. University of Southern Miss is 27-13. Troy is 28-12. So both worst records, Daniel. RPI for DBU 25, RPI for Southern Miss 44, RPI for Troy 39. So worse RPIs for them. Get this though, Daniel. This is where it really changes. So DBU strength of schedule 45, for Southern Miss 93, and for Troy 128. The injustice that is being served, I'm telling you, Daniel, free DBU.
Free them. I mean, I don't know what to say. The strength of schedule speaks for itself. I mean, they got to be.
I normally don't do this, Michael, especially because this is not a DBU episode, but I will not get acknowledged by the D1 guys on Twitter, so I'm doing it here.
There it is. Let's go. Well, enough about DBU. Let's finish it off with some Mississippi State. Michael, you guys got I don't know, obviously you hold your own destiny in your hands, and I guess like when you are a player, like that's what you want. You want to know that if you take care of business, you put yourself in a good position. So let's think about this. Outside of Ole Miss tomorrow, because you're going to get them in a couple weeks, but you got Auburn this weekend, you got Kentucky, you got Ole Miss, and then you end the season with Missouri. Really, the way that I look at
really
this
like
is,
that.
I mean, that's what I was going to say is like, if you could pick, that would probably be the 4 grouping of teams. Obviously, Auburn's going to be really good. All right, they're a very good baseball team, well coached. You got some studs out there, got some ball players. All right, but they're number 11 in the country. I just don't feel like it's going to be hard for you guys to get up for that game. You got an Ole Miss. It's not going to be hard for you guys to get up for that game. You got Kentucky, which I think may be a little bit more difficult, but given if you take care of business, like it magnifies the potential of what you have ahead of you. So I don't think you're going to be able to, have a fallback on that. And then you got Missouri. Obviously, you don't want to drop anything to Missouri, but it's nice to know that the team that's in last place is the team that you have to play.
Funny enough, though, Daniel, Missouri was the last place team in 2021 and beat Mississippi State at Mississippi State. I was there, and that's when the fans lost their mind and said this team wasn't going to make the Omaha, and then they won it all.
Well, how about this?
I just wanted to bring that up.
If you guys make it to Omaha and you win it all, like, don't let it be because Missouri beat you at the end of the all right, let's just put it that way. Like, just don't lose to them.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Do they go 0-30, Daniel?
I don't think so. I just think baseball is a very hard game, and it's hard to beat teams all the time. But I mean, I don't know. They're not very good. They're not. Sorry, Coach Jackson, but you're not that good. Michael, I say all that to say this. You guys got a lot to look forward to. Obviously, some really good teams, and some teams that are definitely beatable. All the games that you guys play, you guys can stack up against them all. It's just a matter of executing and taking care of business. So, look forward to seeing you guys take care of business. Obviously, this weekend you got Auburn. But before you bounce, anything you want to plug or promote?
No, sir.
No. Well, I'll help you out. Tomorrow night, everybody, 6 p.m., SEC Plus Network, number 23 Ole Miss is taking on Mississippi State in Pearl, Mississippi. I don't even know where Pearl is, but it's there, Pearl, Mississippi. Then you guys,
Daniel, he's not doing a good job. He's got some threads on here. He's got some shades. We obviously know he's got the bell. I mean, what's this dude doing?
Yeah, all right. We're gonna give you a master class in plugging and promoting here. All right. Let me take care of the schedule for you, and then Jim will help you out with all the other things that you got. This weekend, number 11, you guys travel to Auburn, Alabama to take on the Auburn Tigers. 6 p.m. Friday night, SEC Plus Network. 6 p.m. Saturday night, SEC Plus Network. And you can catch them for the matinee at 2 p.m. on Sunday. It's going to be a big weekend series. Obviously, Auburn is looking forward to having some State, and State is looking forward to having some Auburn Tigers. So it's going to be a nice little matchup. So I wish you nothing but the best, Michael. Jim, what else has he got? He's got some threads. He's got
it's very simple, man. Miss State threads, man. That's all you got to type in. He's got all sorts of swag on here. Obviously, you can just type in the Bellsmith, get that. He is where his code should be coming anytime. You got your code yet for Chinook?
For Chinook? No, sir.
All right, so he should be getting it anytime, getting his delivery. We'll get that set up, get that out there, Daniel. But in the meantime, y'all can go and get your seed fixed. And man, I tell you what, I don't know if he's got an NIL deal, but these Oakleys, man, they're actually competing with my glasses, Daniel. I don't know. So, man, go get your eyewear where Mike does.
Go get it. Let's go.
Look, I got some shades I got no business having, Mike. Parker Bird sent them to me from ECU, the Solero shades. Look, I don't even feel right wearing them because I don't play baseball, first of all, and I'm old. So I put them on, I feel like a clown. They look so good. They just don't belong.
It's like a cowboy hat. When you never wear cowboy hats, it just doesn't look right on you. And so like when he wears these, it's not that they look bad, but you just know he doesn't wear these often. Like it's just not his thing. So, but they're sweet shades. I will say that. Michael, man, we wish you nothing but the best. Good luck the rest of the season. Safe, injury-free, successful season. And hopefully, you guys take care of business over the next 4 weeks. We get to see you in some conference action, at the end of the season. And then who knows, regional, super regional, Omaha, whatever it is, we'll bring you back on. We'll talk about it. All right.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Yes, sir. That is Michael O'Brien, everybody. If you like hearing Michael's story or you just like hearing Average Joe's talk X's and O's, please share the podcast on Facebook. I don't know about X. Should I promote X?
Go for it.
No, X.
Do it.
Hit us up on X at, what is it, Jim? At producer.
IOTB producer.
Look at that. See, you haven't been on it so long. I don't even know what your name is, what your handle is. Head over to Facebook, subscribe, notifications. That way you're first to know when new content is dropped. We'll see everybody. What, Wednesday, tomorrow, midweek? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Man, we got Wednesday night. We got, first time ever, Letry McCollum, UCSB. First time ever. We have headed out to talk to them.
Look, I'm ready to talk to them. One, he's a stud. Two, they're really good. And guess who has never seen him play?
You.
Me. You know why? Simple rule.
They play too late.
It's too late. But I got to check out some highlights before Letry comes on. But with that, Jim, hey, man, I hope you had a great weekend. Happy Easter. We're back in the saddle. We're doing big things. We'll see everybody Wednesday night. This has been the Off the Bench podcast. As always, remember, strong body, sharp minds, grit and grind all the time.